Can you close the door, please? Thank you. All right, guys. Hello, hello. Alrighty. I am here. Hello, Brawler Osa. Hello, Abraham. Hello, Epic Legend. Hello. Hello, Zal. How you doing? Alrighty. So we're going to go over. Let me just go to live feed. Sorry. I forgot to change. There we go. This is important because I do want to go over some quick things before we actually open the game and I take a look. Also, another thing, since we're on this topic, I'm going to open up my Discord. So if you guys also want to head over to the Discord, I can also look at your thing live. So if you are able, and I'm saying for those of you that are not in school currently, so if you're in school, like while simultaneously watching this, please do not open your... please don't just like go into this room because like we'll have to actually talk. So just chill. I'm fantastic, OP Mamba. How you doing, Lost Nico? Fantastic today. So, I think I'll put myself in general. But just be aware that if you're joining me in general on the Discord, I need to see a screen share of your game. So I won't actually click myself there until I know that there are people that want to confirm being there. Because we're going to go over a couple of things. One of the biggest things we're going to go over is just what constitutes a good PvP team, what you should expect for your PvP team, and then if we have extra time, Father G is looking at me. Father G, hello, Solace. How you doing? I see you. I see you. Hello, my child. Oh, man. But we're going to go back here for now. Yes, you did, Epic Legend. Yes, you did. All right. So we're going to go over what makes a good team. And I think first off, let's actually write it down. I know that I've been doing a lot of these like TED Talk based type of videos. I mean, lives. But I think it's kind of important that we don't just always touch the game, but we also really touch upon like the theory behind it. Because it's all good to play the game and have practice, but it's also good to just take a step back from it and just admire how much extra work there actually is to it and how, even though it's kind of simple, it gets really difficult at times. So let's actually just dive right in. So what makes... I didn't type anything. What makes a good PvP team? Well, I think one of the best things that we can say about what makes a good PvP team is synergy. Synergy, synergy, synergy. That's king. Above everything else, synergy. Between your units, between tags, everything. And this means that if your characters don't share the same, and I think, whoops, I messed up. Don't worry about me. Z ability. You done goofed. And then I'm gonna also say one thing. Exceptions do apply. Because they always apply. They always apply. So just be aware that when I do say, like, you need to, like, put all your Z abilities and make sure that every single Z ability is, you know, relevant to your entire team, that's not always true. It's just true for the most part, and I say this because if your characters have no shared Z abilities amongst each other, or if it's too widespread, then it becomes a problem. So, like, try to get around 4 characters minimum that share the same type of Z ability. So it doesn't all have to be the same Z ability, but the more the better because they all apply globally. I like to run regen when I first started playing Legends. I wasn't even deep into Dragon Ball yet. But now I'm all caught up. I looked up the best banner to summon on, but it was nothing there. But then I saw a regen banner and was like, hey, there was a strong villain, so I spammed summon. And that's how I got Zenkai Boo. Nicely done, Epic Legend. Nicely done. Because I was like, need powerful units like Pycon. Okay. Let me just take off this sweater. Because as much as I like the sweater, it's not doing me any favors in terms of the screen and the green screen. Although I'm going to get chilly, so I'm kind of worried about that, but it's okay. All right. So. Yo, that Goku Black. I'm fantastic. How you doing? So actually, let's take a look. So let's look at Future. All right, Future team. What would be the most ideal units for Future? So for, let's say, let's talk about the ones that are, like, ideal, like the top of the top for Future. We got SSB Future Vegeta. Currently the number 2 best purple unit in the entire game. Hands down. We have, who else? We have Green Goku Black. So I'll just do Transforming Goku Black. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, OP Mamba. We have, whatchamacallit. I want to leave the red unit for later, and the reason why I want to say, like, for later is because it's kind of important that we talk about this in kind of a synergetic order, and then we explain why specific units were chosen over others. Which team do you recommend for low stars? I'll get to that, Brawler. I promise to get to that after I finish just this team for Future, okay? And then we will go over that. Blue Zenkai Trunks, yep. So, Zenkai, SSJ2 Trunks. Or, Vegito Blue for those that have him, or don't have the other Zenkai Trunks. And we will go into why Vegito Blue, even at, let's say, 3 stars, is fine. Alright, let's see. Who else do we have for Future? For the yellows, we have, there's 2 options. There's officially 2 options. One of them will be LF Gohan, Future, so we'll do Future. And the other one, if you don't have LF Future Gohan, you can always use, or Rage Trunks, right? And then, finally, for the red, we have Perfect Form Cell. Nani? Because, he doesn't buff any of them. He buffs 0 of them. He buffs 0 of them. And then finally, like, for your bench, ideally, if you have Zamasu at 14 stars, I know that's a tall order, so if you don't have Zamasu at 14 stars, maybe 6 or 9 stars, something like that. Ideally 14 for the, like, the mega buff. But if you don't, that's okay. You could also, like, Zamasu is a fine, like, just merge Zamasu in general is a decent, like, bench unit, as well as a secondary purple. So, merge Zamasu, if you wanted to. As mainly bench. Yeah. Or Mai for bench. Or Mai. Yeah. For health buff. That's another good one. It depends on what you're focusing on. And that actually... So, based on what you choose, merge Zamasu or Mai, you're choosing a different set of equips. And I'm not going to go into equips today because I'll go into it, but I won't go into it as heavily. It will be touched upon. We will go over some of the key components to equips. But I don't want to go dive in all the way. Otherwise, this will end up being like a 4 to 5 hour TED Talk. And I do not want that. Hello, Daniel. How you doing? Right? So I don't again and then again for bench, right? All right, so let's take a look at the 2 outliers of the team. We have, and let me just delete this. God damn it. Holy shit. Don't worry about me. I'm okay. We got Vegito Blue and Red Cell. And I'm talking about the transforming one. So, let's talk about why. Why them? Like, what makes them good enough to be on a team? Well, for Vegito Blue, it's quite simple. Vegito Blue shares God Key among some of them. So even at 3 stars, he buffs the team. Or maybe it was 2 stars. Because if it was 2 stars, then that actually just changes things altogether. Was Vegito blue at 2 stars buffing fusions or God Key? Can someone just double check that for me? Whoever has him at 2 stars. Because I removed him at the... Yeah, so I think it's God Key that he buffs at 3 stars. Alright? So I just want to double check this. Yo, Brawler Osa. Listen, what I will do for you, it's very simple. I'm going to send this entire guide in the description of this live. So if you guys checked my last live, the document that I created for you guys is there. So you guys have access to it whenever you want. You can download it. You could just open it up. You could just watch the video if you wanted instead. You can use the video along with the guide. It's up to you. And I'll do the same for this one too. So it's going to be up sometime today. So you will be able to use this. All right. Hello, 7C. How you doing? And Pigeon, how you doing? Yeah, he doesn't deal like a Zenkai. He buffs the... Yeah, so he buffs the team somewhat, making him not complete dead weight. He also gets globally buffed by everyone else. And then also, Vegito Blue is a combo master. He be combo mastering, okay? So he's like super, super good. Now, as for Red Cell. Red Cell. So let me just bold them so you guys can see what I'm referring to. We're going to underline future here and italicize it so we can make the things pop out a little bit better. And we're going to undo this so we can see the difference. All right, 7C. Yeah, yep, absolutely. Have a great night and just take care of yourself, okay? All right. Let's do this. And then finally, let's buff up this. And, oh, got to get Mai's full name. Boom. All right, Red Cell. So why Red Cell? Well, as that Goku Black did mention, he has 2 lives, meaning a great Rising Rush shield, or just extra body. On top of that, he gets globally buffed by future. Like, completely globally buffed. Did I by the no, it's a tag. It's a tag, Google Docs. You can chill. By future, he gets globally buffed. This means that even though he won't be supporting the rest of the team, he'll do it in other ways. So he doesn't have to buff everyone else. As long as he's getting buffed, he'll do the rest for you. So Red Cell is just beautiful by proxy of having the future tag. So if we actually pull up the game, if we just pull up the game right now, which I'm gonna do right now, and I'll go over that in a moment. Okay, so let me just pull it up just real quick. Yeah, let's start this now. All right. So if you guys see, this is my future team. It's not very good because I don't main future anymore as I used to. So like, it's not very good, but it's good enough for what it wants to accomplish, which is show you guys what it would kind of look like, right? There are better teams I could have used in terms of like what it should look like, what it could look like. I'm just using this one as an example because Future is the best free-to-play team for new players, specifically because Rage Trunks is pretty easy to obtain when banners drop. Red Cell usually comes back quite a bit. Green Goku Black does tend to come back quite a bit. Vegito Blue has been recurring. Same with Zamasu. Same with this purple Vegeta. And on top of that, the Zenkai Trunks banner is still out to this day. So that means you still have access to pulling on him if you wanted to go in this direction. So just generally speaking, like at low stars, what could you get away with? Well, Future. Future lets you get away with low stars. The only exception to that rule would be the yellow units on this team. You don't really get away with low stars unless you have LF Gohan. So let's actually cross out of here, because I want to cover that with Brawler Osa actually. So because I know that he asked, what teams can you get away with at low stars? That's pretty easy. Like I said, there's a couple of exceptions. Future, with the exception of Rage Trunks. And I say this because Rage Trunks is old. And I don't mean old as in he's actually old. In the fact that his kit was designed in such a way that he ages much worse than a bunch of units in this game. So it's not that his kit is bad, it's that his kit is bad for how the game has progressed. In a game where literally damage buffs upon damage buffs is now the new norm, Rage Trunks does not have any sustainability. He is more of a defensive tank, and even so, because of how crazy damage buffs have gotten, his defensiveness has aged very bad. Like, just horribly. So, if you are using Rage Trunks in your team, I'm sorry to say this, but unless he's 9 stars, I hope you have LF Gohan at 2 stars. That's crazy to say, but it's true. Because LF Gohan's just a better unit overall than Rage Trunks. Okay. I'm not gonna add actually, yeah, I could add fusions. Fusions are another team. Fusions are definitely another team that you could use. 1 second, let me just do this. Fusions. And then if we're actually, let me just take a look at what a fusions team would look like, according to me. At least in regards to what I could make. Because I don't main fusions at all. So for me, it's not something that I actively look at. But we can definitely talk about it because we might as well. It's probably a good idea. So I'm going to put in my red Vegito. Not red Vegito. My red Gogeta, despite him not being a Zenkai. Because we're just going to pretend like he's a Zenkai for the sake of this video. So we're going to talk about red Gogeta. I'm going to make sure in this doc that I say he needs to be a Zenkai. Okay, so we're gonna make sure that happens. But generally speaking, it should be handy dandy. And yeah, we shouldn't have too many problems. Alrighty, that's good. And confirm that. And then I'm gonna bring it up on the screen. So, let's just take a look at it. But then after that, we'll talk about what needs to happen for this team in order for it to be competitive, because it's kind of important. Now, I main female warriors, so when you look at my Kefla is really OP. Why? Because she's beautiful. But this would be basically your standard fusions team. You could change some things around. You do not need to run the red Vegito. So if you didn't want to run the red Vegito for the extra defensive buffs, then what you could do is you could switch them out and put in either the green Gotenks, if you wanted to. If you wanted a Zenkai green instead of Kefla. You could also put in the EX Gogeta. So the EX Gogeta should be 3 stars minimum for the full buffs to kick in. But even at 2 or 1 stars, his buffs are generally okay. It's just that 3-star buff allows for that 35%, and that's huge. Okay. Yellow Vegito is also another good option if you do not have this yellow Gogeta. So, for example, if we go in, you could do a couple of changes. So let's make some changes right now. So let's say you don't have those units. All right? You could switch out with that one, and you could put in the buff here. So take a look at this. Here's another variation of the team. Just make sure that this boy, so if I confirm this for an example, just make sure that this boy is Zenkai'd. This man needs to be Zenkai. Now, obviously, you can't see him at anything below 7 stars when you do the limit break status. But generally speaking, I would say if you are trying to be competitive, obviously, you want to get to at least Zenkai 6. But if you don't think you have that amount of Chrono Crystals for this, then I would say you could go to Zenkai 3. But I would say it's not worth unless he's Zenkai 6. This guy's damage goes beyond crazy once he has power that surpasses time. And the reason for that is just the card draw speed. Like, it literally synergizes with Ultimate Fusion. You want your passives to synergize. So without the synergy, it's not worth it. Like, you'll do damage. Don't get me wrong, at Zenkai 1. You'll do damage. You'll do great damage. Or Zenkai 2 or 3. But you really want that card draw speed. That just pushes him over the top. It really does. So I don't like to say that Fusions are the greatest free-to-play team just because there's a lot of characters that you may be missing. And they generally don't function very well in this meta at lower stars. With the exception of, like, a couple of LFs, like Vegito, Blue, mainly Gogeta, actually. The yellow Gogeta does crazy damage, even at 2 stars. The blue Vegito also does good damage, but his damage is declining, so the higher the stars for that boy, the better. Spaceboy ZA asks, did I miss anything? Don't worry, everything's going to be in a document, so you'll be able to have, you'll have everything, okay? Yeah, Fusion in one word is combo. Absolutely, it's disgusting combo. Can you have a good team with 3 stars team? Yes, you can, Brawler Osa, but it will be hard. It will be absolutely bonkers hard. So I wouldn't recommend that, Brawler. Honestly, if you are having a 3-star team, check out my Z guide, my Z power level guide to learn how to boost your character's stars. Because honestly speaking, for PvP, if you are only running 3-star units and you have not even a single Zenkai on your team, you're gonna struggle. I hate to say that, but it's true. The game's bar level has increased, but once you reach the level, there's a more even playing field than it used to be. Back when this game first launched, and as the game was progressing before Zenkai's, it was divided between 2 types of players. Free-to-play players at 2 or 3 stars, and then whales that were hitting around 5 to 7 stars. And I say it like this because the old version didn't have the 14-star update. 14 stars wasn't how this game always functioned. We used to have it 2 to 7. Now it's 2 to 14. So when that happened, whales were having 9 to 14 stars, and beginners, or basically players that were not whales at the time before Zenkai's, well, before Zenkai's were a norm, we had like 3 to 6. If, like, you know, if we were lucky at the time. With a couple exceptional units if we pulled on them enough. With Zenkai's becoming the norm, this has changed a lot because now we've been getting more Z power levels, Z multi-power levels. We've been getting a whole bunch of ways to play this game a lot more free to play. So now Zenkai's are such a norm that even though the bar has been raised, for better or for worse, now you can play more like a whale as a free to play. So look at it this way. You invest in a Zenkai, you buff up your team, at least one team. Just do one team. Focus on one team. And then all of a sudden, you can play with less problems, and it will become less aggravating, and you won't have to constantly be like miles ahead of your opponent. Now you can make mistakes. And this game is all about being able to make mistakes. Not that you want to make a mistake. That if you did make a mistake, that you lived through it. Alright? I'm gonna SSB, this man is awesome. Yo, thank you, Spaceboy. I do appreciate that. Peace, Phil. I gotta let my phone charge. I won't be able to type on my TV. Sounds good, that Goku Black. Don't worry about it. I do appreciate you, okay? A free-to-play like team would be Frieza Force, to be honest. Red Nappa, Blue Raditz, Yellow Vegeta. Yep, Blue Frieza. Yes, that would be a very free-to-play team. And it would be a good introduction to Zenkai's. What is the difference between a 6-star and a 9-star unit? Great. That's an awesome thing. So actually let's actually bring this down and let's talk about it, because that's actually a great question. So let's bring it up. So before we even bring that up, let's just go Red Gogeta needs to be Zenkai at minimum. Fusions, just in general, not free-to-play friendly, but easy to use at lower stars. All right? And then let's actually go over let me just do that so I can have access to this. Difference between 6 and 9 stars. This is great. This is actually a good question. So I really like this question. So thank you Pigeon, for that, because that's a fantastic question to ask. Look, I pulled the Boo, but I don't know what kind of characters I got to put on the Team Prima free to play. Well, we'll figure that out, Brahim. Just 1 second, okay? Future equals fusion. Not as much anymore, Sanic. It used to be, yeah. When 2nd anniversary rolled around, they really just made the future tag fusions, which is kind of a detriment, but this new Blue Trunks changes that a little bit, which is nice. Okay. Yeah, 9 star is the biggest stat buff. So let's go over. 6 stars gives you the best free-to-play Z ability stab bonus. All right? 9 stars gives you the best individual stat buff to your units. All right? So the difference here is that if you 9-star a unit, you are not increasing your Z ability bonus, but what you are doing is dramatically increasing the overall damage and defense to your units. And this is why I say 9 stars for certain units is like literally just the bare minimum, because this will allow them to do their jobs, like Rage Trunks. Whereas a unit like Vegito Blue, you can easily get away with him at 3 stars or 6 stars, even better if he's at 6 stars, because then he gets the global buffs with his Z ability. But at 9 stars, if you had a Vegito Blue, that man would be basically shredding some Zenkai units. A good number of Zenkai units. That's what's crazy about certain units. Kefla, I wouldn't say anymore, does that shredding very well. Even at 14 stars, she's kind of fallen. So that sucks, but there are ways to boost her up so she doesn't feel as dead weight as she actually is. Use DB space to show the change in stats. I can, yeah. Why don't we do that, actually? That's a good idea. Let's actually go in and actually show that. Now, I don't like DBZ space, not because it's a bad website, and I'm saying this in terms of stats because they don't factor in all stats, so let's actually use Android 21 Good for this. And the same goes for Game Press. Nothing is technically on point in terms of stats, but it's fine. So let's go to 5,000, and let's take 2 stars. All right, so at 2 stars, we're looking at these things at the bottom right here. We want to look at these. We don't want to look at these. We want to look at these when they're soul boosted, because that's what matters, your soul boosts. So thank you, Nabil, for that. I do appreciate that. Is Zamasu on 7 stars good? Yes, Brawler Osa. Zamasu, at least at 6 stars, is a good unit to have. So yes, I would definitely say that Zamasu is a great unit if you're doing. What is a good bench for Vegetable Family? We can go over that, Sanic. I can definitely go over that with you. Let's see. Got her 6 stars. Nicely done, Zal. Alright, so at 2 stars, as you can see, her damage, like there's a blast attack, there's a strike attack. It's not the most impressive thing in the world, but don't forget tags also matter, so we're just looking at base, right? At 3 stars, she gets her Z ability. So here's the Z ability at 1. So this is when she's at 2 stars, right? So she buffs all androids, strike and blast attack. But then, boom, 24%. She gets 5% extra at 3 stars, right? Regen on top of that. This is at 6 stars. So this is what I'm talking about. If you get a unit to 6 stars, you get all of this. And that's awesome, because this is very doable for a lot of units. You pull them once, just Z power level them, they'll give you the best stats possible. Then at 14 stars, they'll do all of this. This is if, you you have that extra resources, or if you're a whale or a dolphin or something like that. No hard feelings if you are. I'm just saying that this is not necessarily free-to-play friendly, although, you know, you can be free-to-play and still reach this. It's just, it takes a lot longer, and it's a lot harder. That's all I'm saying. Now, let's look at the stats, because I want to show what happens when you put them to 6 stars. So let's actually go up by 4 to 4. Boom. 197. Let's look at the strike attack stat. Even though her blast is her best, let's look at strike here. 5. Boom. She went up by like 3,000. Here's 6. Nothing. Nothing has changed. At 6, they only do their Z abilities. Let's look at 7. 5,000, roughly. Give or take 5,000 boost power bonus. 8. Look at this. Now it's 210, so another 5,000. Here's 9. Boom. 9,000 extra. You just went up by, you literally almost doubled. So it's like almost you put added 2 stars. So let's take a look again. 8, 210, 219. Let's look at blast attack, because even blast is even better. I was downgrading her, right? 222. Boom, 231. Right? Look at that. That's like 9,000. Almost actually like a little bit over 9,000 extra bonus power. Yeah, if you're homie Goresh, then you don't need this tutorial. You know what you're doing. Hello, Halo. How you doing? You did miss quite a bit, but don't worry. We have a document for you. So we're going to post it later, Halo. So don't worry. I just make 21 good to 3 stars. Awesome, Brawler. That's awesome. Good job. If you're homie Goresh, you don't need this. And also, you're at 14 stars. Like, you're just at 14 stars. If you're homie Goresh. Okay? All right. Facts. Exactly. But, no, seriously. Like, look at this. This is great. And then if you take a look from here, it only goes up by 3, 3, 3, 3, or 4. And then doesn't even go up anymore. So once you get to the 13 stars, the stats have peaked. The only thing you're doing now, if you're trying to get to 14, is that Z ability bonus. That's it, right? So don't be surprised when you get to 13 stars and you're like, all right, one more time and we get them to the max of their stats. And I'm like, no, you already reached that peak. You just now need to buff their stats through their Z ability. Hey, Phil, can we do girls or God Key later? Yes. Is there a big difference between 270k damage, 160k, 68k defense, and 280k attack, 190k difference? Yeah, there's actually a huge difference, and that's one of the biggest problems with this game, just in general. And we'll go over one of the bigger problems of this game in PvP and why it's important to have as high of a defensive stat as possible. So we'll go over that. Hey Phil, can we do girls or God Key later? Yes. All right, awesome. I have a question. Yes. What's up, Sanic? I know that we have to do a good bench for the vegetable family, but how can I 14-star, Phil G? So I have a video on how to do Z power level guides, because I don't want to go too far into it, but just generally speaking, the guide on YouTube goes over everything. It goes over everything that you can do to 14-star your units. So if you do have the time, Sanic, I would watch that video. It is on my channel. And I do go over every free-to-play method, because I do the same. I don't want to spend money on this game if I can avoid it, right? I have other things, other priorities, and I love this game, but I also want this game to prove to me that it's worth spending on, right? I don't want to just wail for the sake of wailing. When will the stream end? Because I don't want to sleep on this. That's fair, Brawler. So what I would do, like, I plan to end this stream when I'm officially done. I don't know when it's going to end, but I've aimed for maybe 3:30. Right now it's 2:35. So if you guys don't know what time it is for me, it is currently 2:35 p.m., right? So I plan to end this whenever, but targeting around 3 or 3:30. All right? That's the target. That's the target. This is the target. I just can't really say that I will do it. Because I don't know. But, yeah. No, seriously. So, the difference between 9 and 6 and 9 stars, best free-to-play Z ability bonus stat, and then 9 stars gives you the best individual stat buff to your units. That's simple. That's what you really need to know. Now, let's actually go over some Veggie Fam. Veggie Fam, because I know that Sanic wanted Vegeta Family. Vegeta Family. It's also a great free-to-play team. The problem with it is that it's a much worse free-to-play team. I cannot stress this enough. Future is better. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't go for Vegeta Family if you like Vegeta Family more than Future. I'm just saying that, objectively speaking, Future is the better team. I'm not trying to, like, harm you by saying this. Yeah, that's fair, Brawler. I get you. What else do you want in Legends? Oof. I'll answer that later, Agun. I'll keep that in mind. Alright. Yeah, so 1 hour. Yeah, pretty much, Brahim. Pretty much. Yeah, and, yeah, Brawler. Okay, bet. Goodbye, I have class. Sounds good, Pigeon. Take care, okay? Alright, so, Vegeta Family. Let's actually go over what would make a good Vegeta Family team. So, I'm gonna build a team, and then I'll bring it up on the screen for you guys, so that way you guys can see it. Now, I'm not an expert, like a complete expert on Vegeta Family, but we can still build a very solid team to pretty much give you an expose of what it would look like, because I'm pretty well aware of what a Vegeta Family team kind of looks like in the meta currently, because there are those mad lads in the top 100 that love to main Vegeta Fam, and I respect that because that's a very, very difficult one to be using in high levels of PvP. So, respect to those type of people. But anyways, let's build it. So we're going to do this. Actually, let me just build it to you guys on screen so you guys can see. Let me just bring it up, and let me just pop it in when it loads. There we go. Boom. Only they Zenkai the LF God Vegeta, the team would go up a tier or 2. Well, we'll see, Lost Nico. Because don't count out Kid Trunks. He's actually a very solid unit. But you're right. There is the fact that, you know, they could have better greens. But let's take a look at what they have. So for their blue, I'm sorry to say this, but you want to use this Trunks for Vegeta Fam, which both hurts and greatly improves the team. I'm sorry to say this, but it's quite important. So please, if you do not have him for Vegeta Fam, you might want to get him, because he synergizes extremely well with this red Vegetes. This red Vegeta, alternatively, this Trunks right here, get majorly boosted by the presence of this unit. Alright, so you can alternate between the two. Alright, if you're free to play, just use this red coat Vegeta. He more than makes up the difference, just he doesn't have the tankiness. That's all. So he's not a tank. Alright, for yellows, you can either use this boy right here, but Zenkai. He needs to be a Zenkai. If he's not a Zenkai, don't bother. Don't bother with this unit. If he's not a Zenkai, do not bother with this unit. Alternatively, the new yellow Vegeta, which I do not have, so I can't put him in the team. I would if I could, but I do not have the unit, so I can't show you. So the new Vegeta on the Majin Buu banner would be the character you need to put in for your yellow, if you do not have the God Vegeta at your boost. Alternatively, your third option for a yellow, but then again, he needs to be 9 stars, Rage Trunks. You can get away with this guy. Not ideal, but he does benefit because of the new blue Trunks. And that would be why this Rage Trunks can stay on the team. This blue Zenkai 7 Trunks lets this team survive. And let me just change this to Vegetes. Let me just write Vegetes. I know for a team that is supposed to be about Vegeta Family and Vegetes, it's more about Trunks. Sorry, just how it is. What if God Vegeta is Zenkai 1? Then Agun, yes. Use him. Yeah, use him. If he's Zenkai 1, he's already better than your Rage Trunks. Just use him. Just use him. You have a better cover change, unless you're getting Risinged, and you do excessively more damage as God Vegeta than as Rage Trunks. I just think that ideally, because of this new Zenkai Trunks that you're using, that the new yellow Vegeta is your best yellow on the team. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Is the free Vegeta with the green Gucci jacket good? Yes, he's very good. He is honestly in the top 10 best red units in the game. And I'm spoiling a little bit my red list because I will come out with that. But he is in the top 10. So he is definitely a solid unit. So if you missed out on him, when they bring back the event, grind him. Don't worry, we'll cover regen. We'll cover regen. No problem, Inksense. I have a full Zenkai, Broly, Fury, and one Zenkai 8-star Vegeta Super Saiyan God. Can you build me some team? Yes, I could, Inksense. I can definitely do that. Do you have like do you have movies in mind? You might have movies in mind. Summon so you can show us. I'm a visual learner. I'm not going to be doing summons. Not today. I'll do summons maybe some other time. When Zenkai Red Super Saiyan Vegeta? No idea, but if he gets a Zenkai, then yeah, you can go for him too. But right now, no Zenkai. Okay, for your purple. This part is non-negotiable. This is not negotiable. This is the purple to use on Vegetas. If you are forced to use this Vegeta or this Vegeta, drop the team. I'm not even kidding you. Alternatively, actually, even then, I'm not kidding you. Don't even use this Vegeta. If you do not have this Vegeta, this purple Vegeta right here, the only substitution to this team in any shape, way, or form is this, and I don't even like this one. Not because he's bad, but because he doesn't have the tankiness necessary. He does not provide the team what it needs to thrive in a competitive format. If you're looking for fun, then yeah, fine. Make a substitute. But otherwise, if you're looking for even remotely competitive, this is not negotiable. This has to be happening. Yo, Dragos, how you doing? And no 1v1s right now. He was 1 year ago. Yep. All right. Okay. But this is not a negotiable thing to. We can't interchange it. It's just you can't. This has to be the unit. And then finally, you have two options for green, or technically 3, but I would say 2 because realistically, as much as I like this Vegeta, he's good, but he's not great. Just because there are ways around him, and on top of that, he doesn't tank at all. He's just a dead unit once his main ability is active. Once you've clicked that and you messed up or you got the opponent, whatever, blah, 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 whatever happened, he's dead weight after that. His damage is fine, but he takes a hit, he's pretty much dead. And you do not want to jeopardize the rest of your team. So, I wouldn't use him. However, this Kid Trunks, go for it. He's your best green. He's absolutely your best green, and he's definitely as good as the rest of the top 10s that I have in my mind. So he just barely misses top 10, but that doesn't discredit the fact that even at 2 stars, he's a monster. He's a monster of a unit. So if you have this Kid Trunks, use him. Or alternatively, if you don't have him, this guy needs to be 6 stars, not negotiable. So if you don't have this guy 6 stars, once again, not negotiable. I'm not even kidding you. I'm not negotiating here. There's no negotiation. We will go over that, Inksense, so don't worry. We'll change up how the variation looks if you don't have this this Rage Trunks. If you don't have Rage Trunks, we'll go over that. I mean, not Rage Trunks. If you don't have the Zenkai 7 Trunks, we will go over why. Alright. Now, pretend I have Majin Vegeta, because I don't. So pretend this guy is Majin Vegeta. If you have Majin Vegeta on the team. So I'm going to actually just remove him. Pretend the first spot is Majin Vegeta. If you have Majin Vegeta, your team kind of changes a little bit. First off, Rage Trunks, don't use them. The only one to use is the Zenkai. If you don't have the Zenkai Vegetas, don't use the team. Majin Vegeta and Zenkai Vegetas need to be paired up. They need to be. It's a different ball game all of a sudden. So actually, let me just break it down for you guys on paper, what a team would look like, and the 2 variations, okay? Because this is important. So let's actually go over this. Blast-based versus strike-based. Blast versus strike. Because there's 2 different types of teams. Vegeta family. So for strike, we have Majin Vegeta LF. We have Zenkai God Vegetas. We have the red coat Vegeta, and this is where the hybrid Zenkai Trunks, the red one, don't use them. If you are running this team, Red Coat Vegeta is the better one. Red Coat Vegeets. Just use him instead. You want for your purple, it's again not negotiable. You're not allowed to, you can't argue with me here. You need future Vegeets. No, it's Vegeets. It's not Vegito. Stop trying to autocorrect me. It's Vegeets. All right, we have I have LF Vegeta at 6 or 7. Yeah, 7 stars, and that Green Trunks at 3. Who should I put there? Realistically, it's your real daddy. I would put the Kid Trunks. Personally, the Kid Trunks is the better unit, but it means that there's less mistakes you're allowed to make. So if you feel like you need the lock-in, that's a personal preference. But objectively speaking, the better unit is the Kid Trunks. So that's the one I would argue for. But if you have this inclination that you just can't play the Kid Trunks properly, then I would go with a unit that you feel more comfortable with. A unit that is better, and we'll go over that. A unit that, I'll just say it now for a little bit. A unit that is better, but that you don't know how to play, is then worse than a unit that you know how to play, but isn't as good. And we'll go over that again. But let me just go over this. So for Strike, let me just bold this and take that out. There we go. We want to also be putting in, so this is blue, yellow, red, purple, green. I would put in Kid Trunks. Kid Trunks. Oh, not Strunks. Trunks. Or LF Vegeets. LF Future Green Vegeets. And then as for bench, anyone. It could be literally anyone if you want. So if you wanted to put Rage Trunks, you could. If you wanted to put the yellow Vegeta, you could. I personally would go for like a unit that buffs Vegeta family. So just a Vegeta family buffer unit. So global. It has to be a global buffer. There you go. Yes, Sanic. That would, yes. Man, I'm so glad for collect 14 stars Broly film Vegeta. Good job, Ink. And then let's take a look at the Blast version. So the Blast version is different for sure, because the Blast, and let me just bring this down because I want you guys to be able to see it all in full. All right, let's do that. All right, so for the Blast version, this is where it changes. We have Zenkai, Super Saiyan 2, Blue, Future Trunks. We have the, and this is where it changes again. We have the yellow Vegeets from the Majin Despair banner. He is the optimal one, but you can also get away with, or the Zenkai God Vegeets. He is also an option. You can use this guy. It's just that he's not as optimal because of your Blast focus. So you're trying to do a Blast focus team, that yellow Vegeets is the better unit to use. Sorry, just how it is. For the red, you have optimally the Zenkai Super Saiyan Red Trunks, or not optimally, but still very good and still worth it, is the Red Coat Vegeets. Then, again, not negotiable. You're not allowed to negotiate this. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you feel. Your feelings don't matter in terms of objectivity. Super Saiyan Blue, Future Vegeets, or don't even play the team. And then you can either do, I would say optimally Kid Trunks on the Blast variant. LF Future Green Vegeets is an okay substitute, but he definitely hinders the team more than helps in the Blast variant. And then you also want a global buff unit. So global buff Vegeta unit. GT Vegeta is a good global buff, but he only buffs Blast, right? But that's actually okay in terms of Blast units, so you could use GT Vegeta, for example. But don't bring him in. Like, don't actually bring that boy in. I'm not saying his damage will be bad. His damage will be exceptionally good, but then he will just die. And he doesn't support your team. the way that the red coat Vegeta at the minimum does. Right? So, Kid Trunks, you can use the green LF Vegetes, but he hinders this version quite a bit. Boom. Not today. Not today. If I have not Trunk or Vegeta LF Super Saiyan Blue, if you don't have any of them, if you don't have a green, you can get away with that, but then you have to realize you have no way to fight any blue units in this meta. You only have neutral ways, and the blue units right now are dominating the meta. Blue units are crazy in this meta. So if you don't have a green that can keep up, I would say most likely it's not a good idea to run this team. I'm sorry to say that, but greens are quite important right now. They used to be the worst color in this game. They're not anymore. With so many blue units and reds being the #1 best units in the game, solely because of literally 2 or 3 units, yeah, you really need a good green. Right now, the worst color to be in this game is purple. If you're a purple unit, you're the weakest of the bunch. And I'm not saying that in the sense of purples are bad. I'm saying that right now, how the meta is oriented, purple is the worst color in the game. Crazy. But that's how it is right now. I'm sorry, Ink, but that's how PvP is looking. Ink, what's your PvP rank? What is your goals for PvP? What are your goals for PvP? Because it's still possible for you to play Vegeta's family, but what are your goals? Are you looking for top 10k? Are you looking for battle rank 40? What are you looking for? Because depending on what you're looking for, I will, talk about the achievability of your team based upon what you have. Based upon what you have, I will help you out as best as I can. Because I think it's very important to be realistic with you guys, but to not, crush your dreams as well. And I'm not doing that to protect you guys. Yeah, I'm still in Vegeta fam OP, but we can move over. I remember maximum was level 20 level. So for PvP, we were rank 20. If your goal is to only get to battle rank 40, then yeah, you don't need a green unit. If your goal is to get to battle rank 45, again, you most likely don't need a green unit. If your goal is to get battle rank 50, it will be hard, but you can do it, and you can definitely do it without a green unit. So if you're trying to get to battle rank 50 only, if the goal is up to battle rank 50, then technically speaking, any team can do it. I'm not kidding you. If the goal is battle rank 50, any team can do it. I think that's first and foremost. If the goal is beyond that, though, optimal teams are necessary. Let's buff this up. Can I use LF Goku Super Saiyan 3? Can I use LF Goku Super Saiyan 3 in what? Vegeta family? No. In Saiyans, sure. It's a bad unit, though. And I say that knowing that it's my favorite unit in the entire game. I'm not afraid to talk about my favorite unit, who happens to be one of the worst units in the game. LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku is hot garbage. And I love him. I love him to death, but he's hot garbage. He's real garbage. Which hurts me. Hurts me so much. I'm sorry. That one strikes a chord in my heart, because I really love that unit. Can you untime out a Goon Nation? Wait, why is he timed out? Emily, why is a Goon Nation timed out? One of my viewers is timed out, apparently. I don't know either. I never timed them out. Who timed them out? I'm so confused. Can we do Android next? Yes. At least we have the Zenkai one. Exactly. Lol. Yeah, so let's untime that guy out. Because there's no reason for him to be timed out. I don't even know what he did. So I'm confused by the timeout, but okay. Alright. Alright. Let's go over androids. So let's talk about androids right now. Androids. What type of... Why don't we end it off with... Oh, you timed him out? Okay, fair enough, Sanic. I don't know what he did, but you don't have to tell me. Just when it's time to untime him out, we'll untime him out. Emily, do you want to untime him out? Yo, Amir, how you doing? Regod, how you doing? You don't know how to untime out? Lol. Okay, we'll have to figure out with a goon how to fix this. All right, but let's talk about androids while we're at it. Because we might as well. Androids. Androids are pretty simple. There's only one variation of androids that actually works in the meta. Well, technically two, but realistically only one. And you'll understand what I mean when I bring it up. So how long was the timeout for? 300 seconds. Cool. So they will be only gone for less than like 3 minutes. No, I lied. It's gonna be like 5 minutes, roughly. Okay, so I'm gonna build you guys right now an Android team, on like not on the screen, but I'll bring it up on the screen so you guys can see it, and yeah, it will be interesting. Because it will be interesting. What else can I say other than that? So there's a couple of variations you can do with this team. This is a simple one, if you wanted to. So I'm going to bring it up on the screen now. And then we'll go over it afterwards. So this isn't optimal. There are better ways to build this team to make it more, like, specifically focused and focus-oriented. But, like, let's say you wanted to talk about a decent team for androids. Android. So this Zenkai 16, he needs to be a Zenkai. If you don't have him Zenkai, as Zenkai, drop him. As long as you have this good. As long as 21 good is on your team, you can drop the 16. And in which case, if you have this boyo, where is he? If you have this EX boyo, you can put him on the team to buff the team like a beauty. Now, if you want to make it specific focused and not, let's say, blast focused or strike focused or like spread it, what you could do is you could drop them. And if you wanted to make it blast focused, just put her in. If you want to make it strike focused, put him in. He's a bench though, so don't use him. Right? If you don't want any health buffs, you could take a strike focus, and then you could also boost them globally. If you don't like the global boost, you could do strike and blast and just focus on those 4 units on the left side. If you don't even like this option, what you could do is you could focus on blue, because you have no purple, right? And if you wanted to put a purple, you could. So let's say you wanted the health buff too. You could do blue and purple buff, or alternatively, you could do red and green buffs. Right? So that would buff up your cell and your 21 good. And if you didn't want this purple, again, you can get away with not running a purple on this team, by the way. Then in that case, you could do a global boost. Or you could just work on strike, which would be, where is it? Right there. Or you could just work on blast. So you have different variation options. The main 4 that stay always will be this 18, this 21 blue, this red perfect form cell, and this 21 good. You could also interchange the 21 good with Zenkai 7 Android 16. Let me just double check his bonuses. Yeah, so as long as you have Zenkai 18 and the blue 21, you good. You Gucci. You have a solid Android team. You just now need the good defense. You need the thick defense, and you'll be good. So let me just take a look at what he does, Zenkai, because I don't have him. I don't have him Zenkai because I don't care. Last words of advice, blah, blah, blah. When this character defeated, boost the team. Cool. Rising weapon. All right. So he needs to be at least Zenkai 3 to be usable. So this is nice. This is nice. So if you wanted him to just be a defensive unit and nothing more, Zenkai 3. If you wanted him to be optimal, Zenkai 6. If you want him to be beyond optimal, Zenkai 7. Just how it is. Nicely done, Abraham. Nicely done. Can I run 6, Zenkai 6, 18, 21, Zenkai 5, and 21 evil? Yes, but that is not as optimal. Make sure, OP Mamba, that if you're running androids, that one of your main units is either the red cell, this green Android 16, or 21 good. You need the green. Again, top meta teams have a good green unit. A good one. The reason why Fusions see a ton of competitive play is because their red units are so over the top they can kind of nullify the concept of what a green unit is. But this red cell, most people don't have them at 9 stars. And for those that do, good job. If you have them at 9 stars, yeah, then forget the green. You don't need the green. But you need at least a red or a green to buff up with your blue and your yellow. Or alternatively, you need a red, green, and yellow variation. So it's important to have the 4 colors. It's important to have the 4 colors. The purple is the least important color currently in the game. So you don't even need that if you didn't want it. So just be aware of that. But yeah, you can get away as long as you have the yellow 18. I have SP yellow 18 with 0 stars, damn. Yeah, that's my problem. I don't have good green android besides 16. Alright, so then OP Mamba. Then if you want to run androids, Zenkai 16 would be the way to go. Inksan says I have Cell. There we go. Can I use him in Vegetes? Don't use Cell in Vegeta family. Just don't do that. Bad idea. Actually, it's not a bad idea, but that means you want all of your Vegeta family units to buff Future. If they buff Future, then yes, run the Cell. Surprisingly, run the Cell. You could run the Cell in Vegeta family. That's hilarious, actually. But yes. So, never mind, Inksons. If you make sure that the rest of your team on Vegeta family can also buff Future, then sure, go for it. Red Cell, put him in. So that's androids for you. It's pretty darn simple. Just a variation. The staple units I will go over right now. I'll write them down so you can forever have them. Forever. Staple units. Android 18 Zenkai. Android 21 Zenkai. Android 21 good. Red Revival Cell. And Android 16. Or actually, let me just do actually for here. Or Android 16 Zenkai. These are the staples. Any variation of this, you're good. Staple units. Don't have this? I hope you're not trying to get top 10k. If you are, good job if you make it. I'm not saying it's impossible without some of these units. I'm saying it's going to be a nightmare. That's all I'm saying. Because can you make top 10k? Let's actually talk about it real quick. Can you make top 10k with hero units? The answer is yes. Yes, you can make top 10k with hero units. Android 21, blue. I hope that helps. The blue one. The red Gogeta, does he need to be on Fusion? No V-Lockdown Snag. He can also... the red Gogeta, if you're talking about the Zenkai... If you're talking about the red Gogeta Zenkai, he can also be on movies. If you're talking about the EX Gogeta, then if you don't have the red Gogeta on Fusions, then yeah, the EX Gogeta is the best substitute. I personally think that if you're running fusions, you should get the red Gogeta Zenkai. He's too good to not run. So I wouldn't settle for less than the Zenkai. Just letting you know. Do you think androids can work without Zenkai 18 and 16? Like Red Cell, Revival, Good 21, Z7 21, Evil 21, EX 18, and EX 17. Yeah. So this Android 16, you could technically just get rid of them. You could just get rid of them. As long as you have Android 21 good, yeah, it's totally fine. Only problem. And I'm not kidding you. Main damage dealer is Android 18 Zenkai. But yes, you can get away. If you had at least just these, you could get away with it. Just make sure that if you're running 21, 21, and Red Revival Cell, that you focus on Blast. So if you're doing only these three, focus on Blast stats. I'm going to delete this because technically speaking, you want to focus on more Strike. Just calling that out there because their base blasts are good. So they don't technically need the extra buffs, although it's nice to put them over the top. I'm just saying it's not necessary. Whereas your strike values are going to be very important, especially with Android 18 being the main damage dealer and constantly doing a sword and shield style of gameplay. So basically, you'll never lose 18 because your style of gameplay would be literally just running 18 through everything or Cell through everything and then throwing in 21 good when necessary or throwing in the red Cell when necessary. Or alternatively, throwing in the blue to buff up the rest of the team when necessary. Boom. Right? Let's go over girls. Yeah, let's go over girls, because I think girls is a very good tag to go over, because I know that it's an S-tier team, so it's a very good team, despite it having, you know, its glaring issues. So, girls. What makes girls a competitive team in the ladder? Not in tournaments. In the ladder. Well, they have Android 18. Again, main damage dealer. Now, this is where it differs. They also have Android 21 Zenkai. She needs to be Z7. For this team, she needs to be Z7. That's not negotiable. They need all the buffs they can get. They are not a tanky team. So girls, not very tanky. Like a subpar Fusion's team at times. Okay? This is obviously not entirely true anymore, but I'm just saying sometimes, at times. So not always, but at times. This one also is not negotiable. Android 21 good, or Kefla at least at 9 stars. So this is your options. Kefla at 9 stars, or just Android 21 good. And realistically, for Android 21 good, optimally at 6 stars minimum. And the reason for it is that she doesn't buff girls at all until she's 6 stars. Keep that in mind. That's why. Now, if you have those 3, you're good. That's the team. That's the team. If you want to make the team better, just run Android 21 Evil. And then she wants to be at 9 stars. Minimum. I'm sorry, but this is not a team that you should invest in unless you actually plan to do well with it. Or unless you want to just have for fun. If you want to get to like top 10K with this team, easy, this is the team. This is what you're looking at. I'm not trying to ruin dreams. I'm just trying to say that you're making your life harder if these are not the things that you're doing. Can you make this team get to top 10K without 6 stars or 9 stars or 9 stars? Yes. The answer is always yes. Just how much pain and suffering do you want to go through? That's all I'm asking. Do you want to go through pain? Okay? That's all I'm asking. If you don't want to go through pain, then, you know, you can make this easier on yourself by having the stars. And I'll show you guys my Wimps team. Alright, so this is the optimal Wimps team currently in the game. There's two ways to play it. You can either play with health buffs and defense, or you can play health buff and strike up and blast up, or you can just remove Android 21, evil, and play the three EX lovely girls from Universe, I believe, 2? I think they're from Universe 2. Let me just double check. I don't remember which universe they're from. Yeah, Universe 2. So I was right, Universe 2. Alright. You could play EX Kunkunza instead of Evil 21, but in that case, your main three are always the same at the top. Those three at the top, non-negotiable, that is the team for Wimps. Alternatively, you could always switch Android 21 Good with Kefla. If you don't have Kefla or 21 Good, don't play the team. Or, alternatively, play the team, but without any defense. Like, at all. You have 0 defense. 0. Alright, what about Launch? Unfortunately, despite Launch being a fantastic unit and being represented in the Wimps tag, in the Female Warriors tag, she's not going to stay in that tag for very long. Why? Because she doesn't buff the team at all. And on top of that, her synergy with the team, even with her buffs, isn't the greatest. So she's going to probably fall off very soon. Once we get a better red, even a little bit better of a red unit, she'll be gone. Or alternatively, if the meta becomes a shifted focus, where it becomes now mainly blue units, and reds kind of fall off, she's going to drop off the team as well. So if reds are no longer the king of the meta, Launch is going to disappear on specifically female warrior teams. At which point, people might even just decide to run EX Videl if she's at least at 6 to 9 stars, as an EX, which is insane, by the way. Bruh, female and androids are the same, just different bench units. Exactly, Lost Nico. Absolutely. Absolutely, they are. So if you have a good female warrior team, you most likely have a good android team. It's very simple. So that's what I said about like compatibility between two teams. If you're playing PvP semi-competitively, pick two teams that pretty much share the exact same 2 tags. So you only have to focus really on the same units. So if you're playing androids, make sure that your team composition is pretty much identical. And if you're playing female warriors, pretty much just make sure they're identical. I mean female warriors because, as you can see, my cell is only 5 stars. So he's not great, he's not bad, he's just not great. How about Vados? She has insane universal buff. So yeah, Vados is a great substitute on female warriors as well. But her problem is she is such a glass cannon that because she only gets buffed and she doesn't buff everyone else in terms of unique passives, she becomes more of a detriment to the team than she does actually benefit the team. So you would actually see it would be better off placing Vados in a team like Godkey or Rival Universe over female warriors. I'm not saying she can't be on female warriors. I'm just saying it's not a good idea. She can become really dead weight, especially if 18 dies. If your Android 18 dies, at least 21 Good can be the replacement damage dealer. Vados cannot do that. And that's huge. And that's why I don't recommend. Kefla can be the replacement damage dealer. Vados, once again, cannot do that. That's the problem. And yes, BTN, I do remember you. I do remember you. Now you are manually breathing, perhaps. Can you be my trainer? Well, like listening, sons. When I bring back Twitch, I will have things ready for you guys, and we can start up training. We can start up a whole bunch of things. I'm here to teach you guys globally. Anything extra will have to be because I have the time. I cannot promise anything right now. All right. So, with that being said, that's Wimps. That's Female Warriors. The Cursed Girl tag. Yeah, I don't recommend Vados, only because if Vados is alive, but 18 is dead, you don't have a team anymore. You just have two units that kind of struggle to exist on the battlefield, while your opponent just plays hot potato with your health. So, I just don't recommend it. Should I Zenkai 18 right now or save for 1,000 day? OP Mamba, what's your teams? What are your teams? Because if your teams are androids, skip 1,000 day. It's very simple. Just because 1,000 days of celebration doesn't mean you need to spend on it. If you do not have anything that is getting supported during that day, is there really a point? Right? If you're trying to be a collector, then you probably shouldn't go for Zenkais. If you're a collector, and I say that saying that means you're casual, you're not playing PvP competitively, or even semi-competitively. You're just here to enjoy the game. And if you're here to enjoy the game, I will cover some PvE teams very quickly as well. What team needs the most help in the game? Good question. Yes, actually, let's go over that. What team needs the most help in... yeah, it's very simple. It's so simple, guys. The team that needs the most help in the game, one of the teams that needs the most help in the game, is Legends Road. Legends Road, Dragon Ball Saga, and this one is a little bit pushing it, but LOE. LOE needs help. They only need help because they used to be a feared team, and now they're almost a joke, which is hilarious considering they have a disgusting Zenkai. A disgusting Zenkai. So just letting you know. In terms of Cooler. Cooler Z7 Blue. That boy's disgusting, but he's just him alone isn't enough to save the team. Let's see. Universe 6. Universe 6 is also a team that needs help, although that's a joke team. A joke, not to be taken seriously ever. What teams have you done so far? So we've done Future Fusions, we've done Vegeta Family, we've done Androids Girls, and right now we're going over teams that need desperate help. GT, yes, I forgot they existed, sorry. They're so bad, I forgot they actually existed. GT. Wow. Man. They're so bad, but I love them so much. So bad. They deserve better. Could we do God Key? Yes, we could. We could do God Key. God Key is very simple. Because God Key is unfortunately one of those things where I would definitely say if you don't have a specific trio, don't even bother with the team. Just don't bother. And I hate to say it that way, but I'm actually serious. I'm just dead serious. So let's go to characters real quick. So let's go to this one, because this was the one that we were just building. So let's go to God Key. So God Key is pretty. Wait, I filtered. Where's the filter? Did I accidentally unfilter, or did I not even click this? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, here we go. God Key. This blue Goku staple. Don't have him at Zenkai. At like a good Zenkai level, don't even bother playing the team. Just don't. Vegito blue, even though he's a okay substitute, just don't bother. This guy is way better. For the team that you're building, Vegito blue just doesn't help the team at all. You need a tank. You need 2 tanks on your team. And the reason for it, actually, there is a way to play Vegito blue on this team. So actually, there's 2 variations, but the other variation's bad. It's not as good, and I wouldn't recommend it, but you can get away with it. If you don't have this guy, you could use Vegito blue. I'll go over the 2 different functions and teams in a moment. The second unit you want to put on is Vados. Why? She's your main buffer. She's your main global healer. and she synergizes too well with this guy, but only if he's Zenkai. Make him a Zenkai. If you have him as Zenkai, he's with Vados. This team is nutty. It's a great team. It's not a Z tier team, but it's close. It's like I would say it's a high to low S tier team. No, high to mid actually. Alternatively, if you don't have this guy, well, don't run Vados. Just don't. You better have this kitty at Z7. This kitty now has to be Z7. That yellow Vegeta needs to be there. And then you could have your not tank Vegito blue. That's also a fine team. But this Vegeta suffers because of that. So just be aware that this is the suboptimal version. Suboptimal. This is suboptimal. And I wouldn't recommend this. The better team. This. That's the better team. Can you do Sun Fam? Yeah, I could do a Sun Fam. We can definitely do Sun Fam. Alright. The sad part is even if GT gets buffed, they would still be better on like Sun Family, Vegeta Family, Regen, Insane units. Perhaps Lost Neekly, you're probably right. God Key has no top tier red units. Yeah, they don't. Their best red unit right now on the team is this. That's their best red. This is great for the critical and Z ability health buff. And then what they can run as a just a nice purple unit to put in the team is this UI. So that would kind of be what the team would look like. If you don't want to run any red units at all in your team, a global buffer. Put in any global buffer you want, like this guy. Like this guy. Like this guy. Like this guy. You can put any global buffers if you don't want to run a red unit like this one. But that would be your red unit for God Key if you wanted to do damage with a red unit. Despite him not buffing the entire team, I think, he still buffs enough that you're just like, alright, I'll use him. If you don't have Vados, then don't run God Key. Alright. But you need either Beerus or Vados. Greens are too integral to the game right now. Greens are one of the better colors in the entire game. Mainly to counter blue. So you need a green unit. You really do. If you don't, I hope you're not trying to reach battle rank 50. Or actually, better to say you're not trying to get top 10k. Blue Zenkai Broly team. We can go over sagas, maybe. Yep. Yeah, we definitely could. Oh, you're gonna feel bad, Halo, then. Because I have bad news for you, Halo, when it comes to sagas from the movies. I'm not here to play nice today. I'm here to just, tell you guys that it's gonna get a whole lot worse if you think we're talking about competitive PvP right now. So competitive PvP is a very nasty place, and it's not for the faint of heart. So God Key very quickly. 2 teams. Either Z7 Goku blue, Vados yellow, Z7 Vegeta, or Z7 Beerus yellow, Z7 Vegeta, and Vegito blue. Now, it doesn't actually have to be a Z7. It could be technically 1 to 7 and 1 to 7. But this is not negotiable, and this is negotiable. I don't like them at Z1, but you could do it. But this is the teams. This is it. That's quickly that. All right, sagas. Let's do sagas from the movies, and then let's also do Sun Fam. Sun Fam. Champa's a really good bench unit. Yes, actually, I forgot to mention, yeah, you could put Champa on your team, but I wouldn't. You could also use him as a substitute. You're right. So another thing you could do is if you didn't have this, or Champa. But then you risk with Champa, and just note, with Champa, you risk tons of defense. But he is a great God Key buffer. And I did mention that actually in my yellow video, my top 10 yellows. Champa is number 9. So he's fantastic. Just be aware that, you know, Champa does suffer in some aspects. I did not forget Whis. Whis is not optimal on God Key, but it is optimal on specific builds, but as a bench unit, not as a core unit. So I did not forget Whis. I just don't recommend him. But yeah, no, Champa is good. So yes, I did miss Champa. So no, Champa is definitely a possibility. Or Champa. This is your option. These are your options. Bold this. Bold this. I'm gonna bold everything else. This is a pain in the butt. Alright, sagas. Sagas, I hate to say this, but the most optimal sagas team. Z7 Gogeta. Red Gogeta. Z7. Green Borley. I'm gonna just Borley. And Z7 Yellow God Vegeta. That's your core. All right, have a good night. That's your core. That's your core. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But this is the optimal core. Alternatively, for subcore, what you could do, LF Broly. LF Borley Blue. And then as for your, whatchamacallit, what are we missing? We're missing a purple. Vegeta, Goku, assist. Yeah. If you don't have this yellow God Vegeta, you can, wait, let me just unbold. You can substitute with God Gogeta, but he is infinitely worse. So yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyone that's playing sagas from the movies right now, it is probably one of the hardest and most expensive teams to build in this current game. Just because of how ridiculously Zenkai there will need to be. It'll be after this thing. I'll put the link. I'll put all of this doc in the description of this live so you guys have access to it. Okay? So don't worry about that. Could you use blue Zenkai Broly, the old one? You can. You could. You could. Z7 Broly Blue is fine if you like suboptimal. Or if no choice. So you can. You actually can. Like, it's definitely doable. I'm just saying that right now this boy is better. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, right? For purple. This is purple. So you guys know what I'm talking about. The Goku Assist Ultimate. This guy is your purple. And then as for bench, you have options. You could put the DBS Purple Broly. Do not bring this boy in. Do not bring him into a battle. Ever. You could put in, like, what other movies teams can you put in that are decent for bench? You could put in Bojack. So, actually, for example, or you can do, if you want suboptimal, Bojack. Bojack is actually another great unit you could put into the team, but he has, like, literally no defense. So if he gets comboed, he's dead. So just be aware of that. So Bojack is an option, but I don't recommend him. I know, Emerald, I know. Let's see. If I go to sagas from the movies, let me just see what other movie buffs we've got. Another bench unit you could use is the Z7 Broly Fury. You could also, technically, or Z7 Broly Fury, but then again, why bother? Like, I'm actually serious. Why bother? This guy is not even a good replacement for Z7, Red Gogeta. What about Pikkon for key recovery for Zenkai Gogeta? It's a must-have buff for him or he's trash. No. Zenkai Gogeta, even without Pikkon, is fine. The key recovery is already pretty good with Zenkai Gogeta. On top of that, if you're putting in Bojack into your team, you're basically helping Red Gogeta. Plus, with Green Broly's defensive cover and Yellow Gogeta's cover, you will get your key recovery back pretty quickly, meaning that Red Gogeta himself doesn't require it. Because for key recovery to fully come back, if you wanted 100% key, so if you want 100% key back, wait 8 to 12 timer counts with any unit. And I say this, not because you're going to actually have 8 to 12 timer counts in a battle to wait. What I'm saying is, if you did, you would get everything back. Meaning, Red Gogeta, who already gets more key recovery than a lot of other units, won't have to wait this long. And if you have cover changes, won't be as bad. So actually, Pikkon buffing up his key recovery is not even very relevant. It's only relevant on a red color counter team. And no one runs that right now. Alright, sounds good, Ink. Can Yellow Turle boost sagas? Yes. Yellow Turles is another good bench. He's not a staple anymore. He used to be. But he got replaced by better units. You can if you don't have anyone else. It's just that Yellow Turles isn't as good. What about the new Red movie free? Ah, yes. I forgot about him. Thank you for that. Or Red movie Frieza. Again. And not agains. Again. Not optimal, but a better pick than Broly Fury. So actually, yeah, for this one, if you can't get the Gogets, get the Red movie Frieza. If you don't have him, you missed him, get the Red Gogets. He's right there on the banner. Get him. All right. Any good teams for the new Yellow Vegeta? Noob. Yellow Vegeta, for the Yellow Vegeta, Saiyans. Saiyans Vegeta family. Easy. Saiyans Vegeta family or Super Saiyans, even. No, wait, not Super Saiyans. Wait, what? Is he Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan, guys? I don't remember. I know he's good on Saiyans, and he's good on Vegeta family. Anything else, I'll have to double check. Father, what team is the best with UI? God Key. Sounds good, Ink. I appreciate that. Have you done the Bardock's team? No, Alex GS. I have not yet. We can go over that. So, Sunfam. Let's go over Sunfam very quickly. Z7, SSJ3, Goku. Z7, Angie, Goku. Blue. Let's see. Yellow, Goten. Transforming. Who can forget Z7 SSJ2 Red Gohan? Green Super Kaioken Goku for the red buff, blast buff, plus Sun Fam. And then, wait, so I got purple, blue, yellow, red, green. All right, and then for bench, I mean, you could do actually the best thing to do, best bench would be red future Goku, red SSB future Goku for the double red when needed. What's the best team for Pycon? Oh my freaking god. Okay, for Pycon team. Every Pycon available. There. All right, let's move on. Pycon team. Every Pycon available. That's the best Pycon team. Okay? What is the best pure Zenkai unit in the game? Best Zenkai unit in the game. LL SSJ2 Red Gohan. There you go. That would be the answer to that. Hope that helps. All right. If only Vegeta Blue had card draw, it would better synergize with this kit, but he got shafted in that aspect. Yep, Halo, you're right. Do you think there should be a Chi-Chi Bulma unit that buffs the Vegeta Sun Fam? Yes. I 100% think so. Okay, I send you the team. Sounds good. Crazy how most, if not all, the top tier teams have at least one Zenkai unit on their core. It really says something about how much influence Zenkai has had in this game ever since its release. Yep, exactly. Lewis, listen, when Zenkais were first released, they didn't actually influence top tier teams because Zenkais were so hard to make that you really couldn't justify Zenkais within the top core of the majority of teams. Now, because of how easy Zenkais are to build, guys, trying to play without a Zenkai, while possible, isn't worth it. It's just not worth it because you're really just wasting your time, like, trying to fight against the inevitable. Zenkais are built in a way that now even free-to-play players can afford Zenkais, so that way you guys, too, can compete with the meta and not feel like you're falling behind. If you're trying to make too many teams, though, don't. 1 to 2 teams max if you're free-to-play. Stop trying to build everything. If you're not willing to put money into this game, don't build every team. Build 1 to 2 teams max and leave it at that. And ignore banners that don't cover those teams. It's very simple. If you're trying to build everything, I hope you're spending money on this game. Because if you're not, you're going to hate this game very quickly. Alright. So, Sun Fam, we got over it. This is not negotiable. The only thing that you could do, if you wanted to, if you felt like you needed to, or the yellow Z7 Youth Goku. These are the options. That's the options. I say this because he's not optimal, but he's definitely good if you need him. It's just that he's really run his time and he's not as good as he used to be. So this yellow Goten is honestly the optimal unit for your team. I don't have him though, so I run this guy himself. But it doesn't really matter when your core tends to be the red Gohan, the blue Goku, and then the purple Goku. So, it doesn't matter. Alright, powerful opponent. And then we should also do regen while we're at it. Because if we're doing powerful opponent and regen, we might as well have regen in here. And then we can call it a day for at least what I'm doing here, and then I can work on my red script. Agun? Exactly. That would be an exact reason why. If Vegeta family or Saiyans are... Actually, while we're at it, we might as well do Saiyans. Saiyans, because Saiyans will cover Bardock. If you're playing Saiyans... Actually, let's just cover it right now. Z7 Bardock. Immediately. The first unit that you want to... When you think of Saiyans, you think of Z7 Bardock. I'm not even kidding you. Z7 Bardock. Z7 Angie Goku. Z7 Purple. SSJ3 Goku. Z7 Red Gogeta. Alright? These are the 4 main units you're going to see. You're also going to see Z7 sometimes. Green Broly. And then you also will see, and this is funny, but it's true, Purple Vegeta Goku assist from the movies. Alternatively, you'll also see Android 14EX as a bench unit. As a bench. You could also see, who else? Who else am I thinking of? Let me just look at Saiyans real quick so I can just get an idea of what you would also see on Saiyans. Because it's hilarious, the type of teams you can come up with Saiyans, specifically. You can also sometimes see UI as an alternate unit. Let's see. You can also see... Yeah, that's pretty much what you'll see. Sometimes, very rare though, LF, SSJ2, Red Gohan. There you go. Saiyans is the most diverse. Most diverse team in the game. Can mix and match because of unlimited potential and cheese. And I say cheese as in like it's stupid. Like it can do the most stupid things in the game, and there's just, but the main ones you want to look out for. These ones. These are the ones you want to look out for. You have this team set up, you're good. You have, if you want to remove the Green Broly because you don't care about Green Broly, you can put in the Android 14EX as a bench unit. He's fantastic. He literally buffs the entire team. Actually, in fact, this new Majin Buu Gohan absorbed purple fits perfectly as a bench unit. Perfectly. I'm not even kidding you. He's perfect as a bench unit. So if you main Saiyans, you could literally put him in instead of Android 14EX. He literally replaces Android 14EX in some cases. Not anymore, Lewis. I would have put Yellow Goku Youth, but not anymore. They would rather actually see another potential core unit is the new Yellow Vegeta. The reason for it is because of how the team wants to function. They want to do tons of crits, but they also want to buff. Right? Another thing that you could run in this team is the Yellow Goku Youth Z7 as yellow, as core. But it's not a good idea. Because running Bardock means that you want to literally be abuse his crits. Just a solid pivot, meaning he is your starting and middle unit. And then this guy, best last man standing. Go ham. best defense, combo breaker / defense, and buffs. Buffer and solid supporter. They literally do everything. This team does everything. So let's see. I feel like Kid Buu might save LF units, but I kind of want an LF Scouter Vegeta. Fair enough. I still see Purple Super Saiyan Broly on that team. Super Saiyan Broly? Which one? Wait, Purple? Do you mean DBS? Yeah, Lost Nico. Don't... Where are you on the ladder? I know it's 345. We'll probably go to 4 and we'll stop there. I really wish I could go over PVE, but maybe I'll have to go over PVE another day. So we'll probably have to do that another day. That's annoying. There's so much to talk about, isn't there? I didn't even get to go to equips, guys. I didn't even get to cover equips, and I thought I would be covering that today. Look at me. There's so much to talk about. Yeah, Green Goku Black is an okay substitute, but there's no point since you have access to these guys, and Green Broly does great, but you could, like, let's say we wanted to, or Green Goku Black, if you wanted to be spicy. Like, if you want to be spicy, go for it. You can do it. All right. So yeah, the Saiyans. They're a Z-tier team. They're solid. They're very solid. So if you're running Saiyans, yeah, you probably won't have to main literally anything for a while else, because I don't see them getting power crept for a while. Please do powerful opponents or future. I already did future, Inc. So you can take a look at this Google Doc after I'm done this this live. I'll post it in the description. So just chill for guys a bit afterwards, and I will have it in there. So you guys can open this yourself and look at what I wrote. As well as you could just rewatch this live or just skip through it and see what you want. So would LL Broly with LL Kid Buu work together in Blue Blue Purple? Yes. Yes, it would. It wouldn't be optimal Halo, but it would definitely work. It would definitely work. Sorry that I didn't get to you guys sooner. I'm trying to get to you as soon as I can, but I'm just struggling because, you know, there's a lot to write while also reading. Yeah. So powerful opponent. Let's go over powerful opponent real quick. Powerful opponent has its optimal team. Yellow Z7 Frieza. Right? You could argue that you could do whatever you want with this team, but powerful opponent itself isn't, I would say, it's just not a great team. It's okay. It does what it does. Is just there's like so many better teams. Alternatively, and actually maybe even better than this one, Yellow, because I just remembered, Demon King. I shouldn't have forgotten this guy. This guy's way better. Or Yellow Z7 Frieza. DKP is better. Yeah. I managed to get my first Z-ranked equipment for LF Majin Vegeta. Good job. More Saiyan mean food for my Zenkai 18. I'm back. I had to take a big dookie. Yo, bet OP Mamba. And yeah, thank you, Halo. I appreciate that. So powerful opponent. We have Yellow Demon King Piccolo. Who else? We have the Red Revival Cell. He's a core unit for sure. We also have LL Broly. He's a great core unit. I don't think that you should not run this dude. And then as for subcore, run Jiren. Run for at least like what? Should I even bother putting in a purple in this team? You could run Zamasu. Merge Zamasu. Not a good idea, though. It's not a good idea, but you can. You could run the green metal cooler. But, again, better to run Jiren. But could be used as like a buffer, just like as a bench buffer. So if you want to use green Metal Cooler as a bench, that's cool too. Bench is fine. The EX Blue Frieza as a buffer bench unit. That's great. You have options, but the main three that you really want to put in your team are this. You can get away with Yellow Frieza, but DKP is better. So Demon King Piccolo is DKP. Wait, Lewis. There's no way that they put Vegeta Family in Z tier. Z tier for Vegeta Family is a dumb idea. Did they actually? Let me look that up now. I want to see that. They did not do that, did they? Oh, no. Okay. I thought, okay, never mind. No, Vegeta Family's tier 1. Vegeta Family's tier 1. Oh, if it's in the past, then sure. But, like, I don't know about the past. Is transforming Goku Black better than Jiren? Sadsa asks. They serve different purposes, but on specifically powerful opponent, I would say Jiren is better. Because of what Jiren is trying to accomplish on this team. Goku Black is a fine substitute, though. So if you want to use green Goku Black, that's fine. So what makes Jiren great on this core is that powerful opponents can get disrupted quite easily. So one of the best ways to counter disruption is to use Jiren. Because for the first 10 timer counts twice, he will literally just ignore any cover change abilities. Which means that you have options against special actions. This is why we use Jiren. It's not because green Goku Black is bad. Far from it. He's a fantastic unit on powerful opponents. Just it's not optimal in terms of cutting down cover changes because powerful opponents don't have good recovery. So you do not want to be put in a position where you need to recover. Their only good set of recovery is Red Revival Cell. And if you don't have access to him because you got locked in or you used him improperly and you don't have access to his skill anymore, then you have no way to throw him into a Rising Rush or into a combo that could kill a specific core unit that you need alive. So Jiren is just there to help oil the machine or oil this cog or the team more effectively than regularly, right? So that's why Sadsa. So I hope that answers your question in terms of specifically powerful opponent and why powerful opponents would rather see Jiren over Green Goku Black, despite Green Goku Black obviously being a more versatile unit and being I would say generally a stronger unit than Jiren in the meta. Yeah. So, yeah. Did you already movies from the sagas? Yeah. Taking way too much. Yeah. OP Mambo, what you could have done is you could have taken, if you were watching me on your phone, you could have taken me on the toilet with you. I say this knowing that not everyone likes to hear about toilet stuff, but, That's what I would say. Regen can still be androids and female if you're running Zenkai 21, Good 21, Evil 21. Exactly, Lost Nico. You're right. But Regen's a little bit different, so we'll go over that in a moment. My movies from the saga kind of stacked, though. Lol. Well, you can look at my document later and see what I said about sagas, because I said a lot about sagas. Enough about sagas, better to say. All right, let's go over Regen. I think we covered enough about powerful opponents. Yes, you can do substitutes, but I really would say if you're looking at battle rank 50 beyond. Again, all of this is for battle rank 50 beyond. Anything under that, it's not a big deal if you don't have these. You can make substitutions. It's just beyond, I don't want you to struggle as much, so I would rather help you with optimizations than watch you guys say this game is for whales when it's not anymore. So I just want to make that, I just want to make that clear. Transforming Warrior, we could do that, maybe. But I only have 5 minutes, so we'll go Regen, and if we have time, we'll do Transforming Warriors. If we don't, then we won't get there. My phone was dead, bro, or else I would have. Alright, bet OP Mamba. All right, regen. Regen's pretty simple. Regen is right now, I would say, the top 3 best teams in the game. Currently at number 1 is androids. I still believe that. It's the one thing that I think me and Game Press agree on, is that androids are right now king of the meta, or queen of the meta in this case. But realistically, your options and your optimal team, again, is Demon King Piccolo, Zenkai, and ideally 7. Ideally. Can you get away with him at like Z3 or Z6? Yes. Even at Z1? Maybe. I just don't like it. You really want everything that Demon King Piccolo has to offer to make him the best yellow, or the best character on your team. Put on the top Zenkai. Only other units trash. I'm sorry, OP Mom, but that's kind of how this game has become. Zenkais have really changed the scope of the game. Blue Zenkai 21. And again, you want her to be Z7. Zenkai 7. I'm sorry, guys, but this is kind of how it goes. And then this is where people debate. This is the debate. And one other thing. Or, because this is also another debate, LL Gidbu. Right? And then you also have, Majin Buu, Zenkai 7 green, or Android. I can't spell. Android 21, good. This is your core. This is your core. That's your core team. Zenkai Ball Legends. Yeah, honestly, that's what this is. And that doesn't even start to begin with Revival Red Cell. So if you've noticed, Revival Red Cell has been making an appearance on a lot of teams because this guy is just insane. His versatility is insane, making him like such an optimal unit. There's no reason not to run him. And then, well, the rest is bench units, and yeah. You can get away with 0, or better to say 0 purple units in this tag. Just these 4, or alternate units, and boom, you're done. That's it. That's the team. Yeah, I am Pigeon. Yeah, I really am. So yeah, that's the team. That's Regen. Regen is definitely not for the faint of heart. If you're running Regen, I pity your Chrono Crystals. I really do. I really do. If you only summon if you like the character or if the unit fit on your main team. Exactly. Yeah, you only summon for those 2 options, and if you're competitive in any shape, way, or form, don't summon on a character you like unless that's a team you run. So, that's another thing, guys. If you're playing this just for fun, don't worry about what I've said today. If you're playing this competitively, though, yeah, take notes. This is important. If you want to be a competitive player, this is important. You need to know these things. If you don't know these basic things, you're going to get lost when we cover about equips. When we cover why certain team compositions work the way they work. What is an effective strategy when playing PvP. So, like, there's a lot of things to cover when it comes to PvP. So this is just teams. I'm going to send this, guys, to you guys in a Google Doc. You guys will have access to it. And that was a lie. I did way more. Also, hey, Wavy Ray, how you doing? I see you there. So yeah, this is I think 4-page document. Yeah. It's a 4-page document of different teams / what to expect. And what you should really, really cover and what you should really know. Anyways, guys, this is pretty much what I would say is the end of my stream. I think there's nothing left to talk about. This went for 2 hours, so, you know, it's good that we had this discussion. But I do believe, guys, that if you want to get better at this game, you have to realize that there are certain things you need to learn. And it means that if you're looking to get better in this game in PvP specifically, you can't play this game only for fun. And I say that in the sense that semi-competitive players play to perform well as well. Even if they're playing for fun, they're also trying to do well, and that sometimes means making sacrifices like not summoning on everything you see. Especially if you're free to play. If you're not free to play, just ignore this part. This is for free to play players only. Yeah, we talked about Sunfam, Wavy Ray. We talked about Sunfam. We definitely did. So don't worry. Sunfam isn't the strongest team anymore as it used to be, but here it is. Yeah, you're welcome, Zal. I got you. Yeah, the OP PyCon team. Anyways, guys, that's the stream for now. I'll see you guys in the next one. We're going to be streaming on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we're going to cover something about... Do you guys want PvP or more PvE? I mean, do you want more PvP or do you want some PvE teams? Just let me know in the chat just before I end. You guys looking for PvE stuff or do you want just more PvP, like to continue on? Because, yeah, this is free to play only. Been taken seriously, but I might do it. Yeah, I mean, like, guys, if you're taking it seriously, don't take it, like, overtly seriously, but take it seriously in the sense that if you want to have a better experience in this game, try not summoning on everything you see. Yeah, no problem, Inksense. PvP stuff. PvE, we got 1 PvE, PvP for 3. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We'll cover more PvP. We'll cover more PvP for now, for Wednesday. And then, if I have the time, I'll slip in some PvE stuff, okay? Just because I know that there are people, I know some of you guys want to know some stuff for PvE, because I know there's some tips and tricks we can go over. And I know that there are actually certain optimal teams for PvE. And I know that you guys maybe want a list of different teams to try out when playing PvE events to do it within timer counts. Because I think that's actually extremely important. Like, knowing timer count stuff more so than how to beat an AI. Because I know a lot of you know how to beat the AI, but do you know how to do it within timer counts and efficiently and consistently? So we can go over that. PvP. All right, maybe discussion about gets shown in the videos and stuff. Yeah, sure, we can do that, Halo. I can start bringing that back on YouTube if you guys want that. And we can also stream that stuff too. But for now, like, we'll just figure that out. Okay, sounds good. Guys, just make sure that if you are doing stuff in the Discord, so if we go to Discord, make sure you're doing stuff in the Dragon Ball Legends gaming section. So to do that, go to Start Here. Make sure that you click on, specifically number 5. Click on 5 right here. And then you'll have access to the Dragon Ball Legends section. So that way, you can then post your teams there, you can give me all that stuff, and other people can comment on your stuff too, not just me. Because this is great and all, but I also want you guys to be able to talk with it amongst yourselves, help each other out, especially because you now have this. You have this with you. You have my last guide with you guys. So just be aware of that. PvE isn't too hard, but sometimes the opponents can get out of hand. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I want to cover some PvE content with you guys. That's all. All right. What's my Discord? It's in the description of this live. So if you just click on the live description, find my Discord. It will say Discord along with the Saitama project. Just click on that, read the rules, and you'll get there. Awesome. Sorry, I had a stroke writing the above suggestion. That's all good. Don't worry. I got you, Halo. Don't worry. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go now. I have to work on my next video. It's going to be my top 10 red units. It won't be done today, I don't think. But I'm definitely going to work on it, so you guys will have that ready. Because I want to get red, blue, and green done by the end of this week. All of it. So that way you guys have all 5 colors. And then we're going to move on to other different top 10s. And then we'll go back to yellow, red, blue, green, purple when they get updated. So, like, majorly updated. I'm not going to recover them if only 1 or 2 units have switched. If only 1 or 2 units have switched, we're not updating that thing. We're not updating those top 10s. We'll only update them when like 5 or more units have been relevantly switched. So after that, if you guys want to make suggestions on what top 10s you want to see, let me know in the Discord or in other YouTube videos for my top 10 videos, okay? With that being said, take care, guys. Have a great day, and I will see you later. Okay. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Ciao. I gotta click end stream, don't I? Yeah, I do.